Oh, I'm greeting to another lady there.
Okay, okay.
I can see Nanzini there up there.
Yeah,
And yeah, how are you?
I'm fine. And how is Lower Chile? How is Lower Chile?
Lower Chile is quite cool. How about that side?
That side's cool. We don't go to school.
Good morning. Are you two from Malawi?
I'm from Malawi, the capital city, Lilongwe.
You are from where?
Capital city of Malawi. What about you?
Kendro friend.
What about you? You are from where?
Nigeria.
Ha,
Kendro, is it your friend? The same area? Yeah?
from where?
I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. Maybe you are using earphone, or Bluetooth.
No, I'm not using earphones. I'm not using earphones.
Okay. You too, you are from Malawi. Yeah?
I'm from Malawi, capital city, Lilongwe.
Yeah. I know you very well.
As usual, Malawi have beautiful faces. You can see yourself.
Salam, Kendero, Nazi, greeting from
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, everyone. There was a slight technical glitch in my system.
Morning,
Hopefully, I've
madam.
been able to. Good morning, dear. Good morning. Just give me a second.
morning, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Hassan Wazir, how are you? Maybe you are facing network problem. I'm not hearing. Precious Chinyere, good morning.
Good morning, Mustafa. Good morning. Very good morning. Good morning,
And
everyone.
good morning, ma. You are welcome.
Mm.
Ma'am.
The great Shaho. Good morning.
So, how are you?
We are fine, sir. And you?
Doing well? Great. So, we have 27 learners till now. I think a comfortable strength to start with the class. So, yesterday, we were talking about I discussed a few things as in the exam, like examination and all. Whether examinations are important, whether they should be there or not, the evaluation pattern. So we can start today, by generating a discussion wherein we can, you can actually speak about what is the examination system in Africa. Is it same throughout Africa or it differs from state to state? Hmm? And if so, do you like the way the students are evaluated? And if you don't, then what is that alternative system that you suggest should be there to assess the students in the true sense? Is the system very much dependent on rote learning? Huh? Or, so similar aspects. Okay. So, we can start a warm up discussion with that. And I plan to go ahead with something on media and entertainment today, since I was talking about the news anchor and all that, so that is going to connect you to this. Okay, and apart from this, I also asked you to take out some few important words, while you describe your news anchor. Hmm? And have you done all that? And also 5 new words regarding food. Are you doing those exercises?
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am, we do it. Oh.
Ye- Yes, we did it.
Okay,
Y-
so just
Yes, ma'am,
write.
we did.
Okay, so why don't we write those words in the chat
Yes,
box
we
for
done
others
it.
to?
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Let us write it.
Yeah, we can do that. Mm, okay. So meanwhile, those who have prepared their vocabularies, they can write their things in the chat box. And while they do that, we can start a discussion on the examination patterns in Africa, right? Before we move on to media. So who's going to start the discussion?
About
Hmm?
the examination, ma.
Yes, examination system in Africa.
Okay, in Africa, like we West African, that is Nigeria, we have two kind of examination. We have a West African Examination Council, that is WAEC, and we have NECO, National NECO. NECO, it is examination that is using within the country only. Then that WAEC, it is the examination that maybe you are going to study abroad, outside of the country.
Okay.
Even me, I was use it to gain admission in this great university that is Indira Gandhi National Open University. And then we have a small examination like JAMS, Joint Admission and the Matriculation Board. It is the examination which is uh, taking place in order to gain admission into the university in Nigeria. And then
Okay.
there are NAPTEP. It is the examination for business courses. like accounting, commerce, etc. But it is based on private. But WAEC and NECO, it is the government examinations. And then that is the only what I know about our area.
Do you
Thank you, ma'am.
feel that, Mustafa, there should be some change in the examination system?
I'm not to get, ma'am.
Yeah, even the audio is not very good. I mean, this side as well. I'm asking, do you think that the examination system or the assessment patterns in Africa need a change? Do you think they
Uh,
need a change?
do you mean that the examination it needs a change or on something new?
Audio has stopped from, I don't know, some audio issues. Okay, many hands are here. Hassan has raised the hand. Hassan? Yes,
Okay.
please. Mr. Hassan.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning.
Good.
In addition to what Absalam said, I don't know, maybe they don't understand you understand the questions first. First of all, examination system here in the Nigeria, we used to conduct the elections and the exam, computer-based exams, computer-based
Yeah. Can others listen to
examination.
Mr. Hassan?
So for this, some of them being monitored or, or supervised via CCTV camera, and for that of the individual vision, which
Not audible, Mr. Hassan. We can't, I mean, I can't hear you. Maybe others can.
We too, we are not hearing you, ma'am.
Hmm. Oh, really? Then there is serious audio issues.
okay.
You're not able to hear
Good
me?
morning, everyone.
You're not able to hear me?
Are you hearing me? I'm hearing
We
you,
can
ma.
hear you loud and clear.
Can
It's
hear
the
you.
Hassan that is having issue with his network, I think.
Okay, so say the examination system here in Nigeria, we used to conduct written exams, and for that of also it comes in the mode of electronic device, that is CBT, computer-based examinations. So some of them being supervised or monitored by CCTV camera. That is for the that is for the electronic, for that or for the computer-based exams. Then for the written, we used to supervise, was they used to supervise for individual at all level. You would sit and write for the specific time which you have been given, or being written down as instruction in the question after.
All right. Uh, I'm assuming that the others in the class must have heard Mr. Hassan because I couldn't hear even a single word. So good, good that you presented your views, Anybody who wants to say something, what Mr. Hassan has said? Anybody who wants to respond to Mr. Hassan's
Okay,
assessment?
okay, ma. Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
ma'am. Go on.
Ah, now it's clear. It's absolutely clear.
Okay, so ma, what I'm saying is that I say examination mode here in Nigeria, we have two different types of examination mode we used to they used to carry out here in Nigeria according to our standard of Nigerian University Commission. First of all, the first they used to evaluate their student via written examination. Then also it comes in a form of computer-based examinations. For that one, it being monitored by a CCTV camera with the aid of persons or the this thing. Then for that of written, it being monitored by an individual at hall level. I hope you get me for that.
They are assessed at individual levels. This is what you're saying.
I mean, it is being supervised by a person at hall level. At hall level, you will give pen and biro wherever you sit at the hall to conduct your exam over there with the supervisions of a person. This is what I mean.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Hassan. Okay. Booba wants to come in and say something on this.
Pardon?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Go ahead.
Thank you. What I want to say about the examination in Nigeria, we have the two categories of written examination in Nigeria. So, for the first one that we have did previously is a written examinations, and we have evaluators, individual evaluators who are supervising the examination in the exam halls. So by then, the second one is the e-exams by computer. We call it as the e-exams. But the second one is also doing at a tertiary institutions. It's not on the level of secondary school or any junior levels. So that is our only two categories of the exams in Nigeria. It's only e-exam and writing exam, but different is only the e-exam is doing in institutions. It's not on secondary level. The writing is doing in secondary level. That is the only two categories of our exam in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Anybody who wants to say something on what Mr. Ahmed Booba has just expressed?
Okay, can I go on?
Okay, yeah. Mr. Ibrahim, yes.
Okay. Good evening, depending on the standard time, and good morning, Nigeria. So, okay, the examination system in Africa. Let me start with the West African countries. West Africa to be we're taking Nigeria as the case study or the persona. In Nigeria, there's a two different kind of examinations system. There's the pen on paper examinations and the e-examinations, which is purely digital. That's an online mode of examinations. And so these categories are often taken by depending on where the examination is holding or who organized the examination. There are some institutions or organizations or body or company wherever they are within Nigeria that if they want to have an exam, they prefer it to be a digital examination, an online examination. There are some that prefer it to be pen on paper examination, and there are different categories of examinations within West Africa, and that's why we have like what Abdul Salam mentioned earlier on. There is what we call WAEC, which is the West African Examination Council. It is applicable in joining any higher institution globally. Without the WAEC result examination, you can't join any institution worldwide. So it's applicable everywhere. And that kind of examination is mostly pen on paper, supervised by human, And there is what we call JAMB in Nigeria, Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. And that kind of examination is a system where you write it digitally and it's supervised electronically. No human no human supervision uh, close by. It's only electronically. And the question you asked whether the system of examination or there's something that need to be modified or changed or abrogated. Actually, the kind of examinations we are having in Africa is not innovative at all and not creative because they're only testing. They only want they want you to give them exactly what they taught you in the school, not to test your understanding, not to test your capability, whether you really understand what they taught you in the school or in the where you have your sessions or classes or lectures. They don't test your capacity to see whether you have understood really from your own self that you have understood what they told you. They only want you to cram, understand, and digest everything they gave you, either in the synopses, in the textbooks, in the handouts they provide. You just copy it the way it is in the handout, in the synopsis, and you provide it down to them in their answer sheets. So this thing needs to be changed because it's not innovative at all. They are not testing the understanding of the students. Rather, they are just wanting you to be providing what they
Okay,
already told you.
just a second, to disturb you. The rest of you can write in the chat box at least a sentence or a two on the examination patterns, na? Because since you're not responding also, then how do you participate in class? Please keep on writing in the chat box. Okay, your responses, something or the other.
I
Again,
mean,
reminding you, these are counseling sessions. These are not lecture sessions. It's not one-way communication. If you're attending the class, then you have to participate. You have to tell your problems. Okay. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, please.
Hello,
Mr.
good
Ibrahim, were you
afternoon.
through with your comments
Uh,
or you want to make more?
yes, I think I am, but I just want to add one thing again. If there's something that needs to change in the examination system in Africa, is to provide a space where they will test the capability and understanding of students rather
I'm
than.
sorry, I didn't understand. This lot of audio issues. I'm not able to hear anything actually. That is the entire situation this side, in India today. What
Okay,
did you
yeah,
say? What needs to be changed?
okay. Am I loud enough now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I said if there's something that need to be changed in the examination system in Africa, is to for the examiners to or supervisors to provide a space where they will test the capability or understanding or creativity of their students or their participants in any session they took them through, rather than expecting them to provide exactly what they taught them in the classroom
Perfect.
sessions. Thank you.
Very good. Very good suggestion because in India, things have been moving in this direction only. Mr. Muhammad must be very happy. It's a pleasure for me to share also that in India, we had the same rote learning process where teachers and supervisors expected replicas from the books or whatever. But these days, there is a new system which is called NEP, National Education Policy, which we have adopted, and which is being implemented across India now, and which precisely would assess students on the same parameters as Mr. Mohammad Ibrahim was just mentioning, that students should be assessed on their capabilities, on their potentials, creativities, hidden talents, they should come out. So, and not how much they're able to throw out, on the paper, which is written in the books. Okay, so that policy is very good. So if anyone, if you want to suggest to the concerned, if you have some concerned teacher or concerned someone who's working in education and education policy, you can always ask them to refer to India's NEP, National Education Policy. It's a wonderful this thing, and it lays emphasis on indigenous languages. Now English will not be uh, I mean, this is a little ironical because I'm taking an English proficiency class, and my NEP says that English should not be a compulsory language for that matter, and the students, they should be taught, and they should have their books in the indigenous languages, in the native languages. Okay, so prior to it, English was compulsory, you know, but now English is just one of the language like any other language. It is not being given any prominence because in India we feel that this is a colonized impact. We want to decolonize our minds. Okay, and the first thing to decolonize a culture is to decolonize the language. You have to hold your language to your heart. You have to hold your language in the topmost you know way. So that's how it is. Kaima wants to come in and say something.
Not,
Okay,
not, not,
then
not,
I
not,
think
not, not yet,
yeah,
madam. Not yet.
okay. Anyway, so this was something that I wanted to discuss with you, and a couple of you came forward and you presented your views. Okay, now let us move little forward. I'm starting with this media and entertainment block, which is block 3. And in the media, we have all kind of things these days, you know. And in this particular block, we've tried to give you a lot of vocabulary which is used in media. Hmm. Now, the computer also has the main important is the computer, you know. The computer has become a common means of communication, and source of news today. Hmm. We access everything through computers these days. There are many sites which give us news and other information. Uh, do you know any sites which give us news and other information in computer? Yeah, Google is there. Okay, Yahoo is there. So these are called as the search engines. So there are search engines like Google and Yahoo, which respond to our queries and guide us to relevant sites. Now, uh, so what is the social networking? Social networking is also referred to as a social media, encompasses many internet-based tools that make it easier for people to listen, to interact, to engage, and to collaborate with each other. Social networking platforms such as Facebook. No disturbance, please switch off your mics. Musa, switch off your mics. Mr. Bashir Musa.
Bashir, ka kulle mic ɗinka, Bashir, ka kulle mic. Ma, continue.
All right. So, I was talking about the social networking. So, you have social networking platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, like YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, blogs, message boards, Wikipedia, and countless others are catching like wildfire. People, they use social networking sites for various purposes, like we use it for sharing photos, for sharing ideas, for recipes, and also to keep our friends updated. right? And you can use your social networking tools from mobile devices such as smartphones as easily as from a PC or a laptop. Now, by its very nature, social networking is very interactive. You can tell anyone that you want to talk to, and that person wants to listen to you. Anything about your opinions and experiences, and vice versa, through blogs, Facebook pages, videos, and even 140 character messages called as tweets. You can also build communities also based on common interest, causes, and concerns. Now, while we don't have room to discuss all of the social networking sites here, here's a sample. I'll just help you to just get your head around today's most popular social networking tools. Okay, let us talk about that. The first one I would like to take up are the blogs. Anyone who have blogs, who write blogs, what are
Which
blogs?
block?
Let us begin with what are blogs. I'll just write here so that you know what I'm talking about. I'll write in the chat box. What is a blog? What is a blog?
Okay.
Okay, now there is a listening task. Now there is a listening task. And the listening task is I'm going to read out the definitions of social networking sites. Okay, a few social networking sites. Your task would be to listen attentively, since I'm assuming my audio is clear, to listen attentively and write a sentence on each of the social networking sites that I'm discussing here. Very good. Jimmy has once blocked before. Okay, that is fine. All right. So the rest of you have to write these things in the chat box. I want to see how many people they respond. Okay. Okay. I'm reading out the definition of blogs. Blogs are sites that people set up to provide information and opinions about events, ideas, or anything else they want to discuss. Blogs can include links to other related sites, photos, videos, and sound, as well as text. The number of bloggers is growing exponentially these days. Okay, I'm getting responses. That's it. Nobody else wants to write anything. I've just spoken 5 lines on blogs. I want you to write at least a line on blog. What is a blog? Very good. Rashidat has just is right on the spot. Okay. All right. Mhm. Okay. Quite a couple of responses I've got. I move on to the next social networking site. Now listen to it and again write. Okay. Omar Aminu. Nice to get response because this learner has not responded in discussion, but this learner is writing on the chat box. So good. Some kind of participation is there. So that's a good. That's nice. Nice to see that. Boxan Tambulasi also is writing in the chat box. Very good. I haven't seen him speaking, but good, at least they are writing. Even Bashar is writing. Then Zimba is writing. Very good. Good. You need to be participative in some way or the other. If you are not comfortable speaking, then at least write in the chat box. Very good. So I'm moving on to the next now. You can stop at that. And if anybody is interested, you can listen the next one and write about it. I'm more interested to know, to see the learners who haven't interacted as yet, writing it down. Twitter. Twitter is a micro blogging site. It is free microblogging service that allows registered members to broadcast short posts called tweets, either using a computer or a cell phone. Other Twitter users can follow your post, but you can decide if you want to let them follow you or not. I repeat, Twitter is a microblogging site. It is free microblogging service that allows registered members to broadcast short posts called tweets, either using a computer or a cell phone. Okay. Now, in the chat box, couple of responses on what I've just spoken. Just write a line on what is Twitter. What do you understand by Twitter? Maybe the ones who've already written did not write. I would like others who haven't responded in writing, to write. Rashidat, very good. Omar Aminu is responding very well. Ahmed Buba, very good. Mustafa Davis Firi, very good. Okay, Nasib. Anima Nasib, good. New names coming up. Okay, Boxton. Yes, very good. Even John has written. Banza, very good. Priska Everson, so happy to see learners who haven't interacted as yet, they're writing on. Very good. Okay, Salisu has also written something. Bushert also. Very good. Okay, I move on to the next social networking site now. Those who have already written did not write again. The others who haven't written, please come forward and justify your presence in the class. Chipiliro, Zimba, very good. Grecian Francis, very good. I move on to the next now, which is Facebook is a popular free social networking website that allows registered users to create profiles, upload photos and video, send messages, and keep in touch with friends, family, and colleagues. I repeat, Facebook is a popular free social networking website that allows registered users to create profiles, upload photos and video, send messages, and keep in touch with friends, family, and colleagues. Okay. Now, please write for Facebook a sentence on Facebook. The others who haven't responded as yet. Now, stop writing about Twitter. I've just read out things on Facebook. Very good, Omar Aminu. Wonderful, Mustafa. Dennis, very good. But Dennis, why are you writing on Twitter now? I've asked you to write on Facebook. Nasib, very good. Rashidat has become suddenly very active and very responsive. Very good. The more you write, the more you test yourself, the more proficient you would get. It's all within you. It has to come out of you only. Very good. Hassan, Mr. Hassan is responding. Mr. Zimba, very good. Banza, very good. Dennis, Everson, Stephen. Okay, some new names are there. Nanzinai City, Chetty. Very good. Okay, new names are coming up. Pilrani, Caliper, Boxton, Mr. Naika, or Miss Naika. Very good. Good number of response. Okay, now we can move to the next now. Yes, yes, yes. LinkedIn. Mr. Hassan, we are moving on to the LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a business and employment oriented social networking service that operates via websites and mobile apps. It is mainly used for professional networking, including employers posting jobs and job seekers posting their CVs. I repeat, LinkedIn is a business and employment oriented social networking service that operates via websites and mobile apps. It is mainly used for professional networking, including employers posting jobs and job seekers posting their CVs. So that's LinkedIn. Okay, Musa, we've got your response. We are writing on LinkedIn now, not Facebook anymore. Omar Aminu, okay. All right, more responses from those who haven't given as yet. Okay, Mr. Caliper. Who is Bua Bobson? He never responds. I'm just assuming Bua Bobson is he. See, no point being in the class and not responding. Make sure that you say something in the class. Bua Bobson. Okay. I think many responses have come. Now I move on to the next now. Telegram. Telegram is a non-profit cloud-based instant messaging service. Telegram is a non-profit cloud-based instant messaging service. Users can send messages and exchange photos, videos, stickers, audio, and files of any type. Users can have a secret chat which can be deleted from the receiver's phones to within a period set. Okay, that's a Telegram. Telegram is, I don't know how much it is in use in Africa, in India, not entire India, but in Delhi from where I'm taking classes, I can say Telegram is very very useful, but only in specific situations. Otherwise, we don't use Telegram much. So Telegram is a non-profit cloud-based instant messaging service. Okay. And the other one also, I will just speak and you can write on either Telegram or the other one which I'm talking. Very good. Many responses on Telegram as well. Very good. Dennis. Very good. Banza, very good. Mm-hmm. Rashida, very good. Very good. Mm, mm-hmm. Very good. We move on to the last now, which is Wikipedia. Okay, Kaima. Mr. Hassan, fine. Wikipedia is a free, open content online encyclopedia created through the collaborative effort of a community of users known as Wikipedians. Anyone registered on the site can create an article for publication. Registration is not required to edit articles. Okay. So Wikipedia, okay, still responses coming for Telegram. Wikipedia, now Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a free, open content online encyclopedia created through the collaborative effort of a community of users known as Wikipedians. Right? So now you can write something on Wikipedia. Okay, Ibrahim? Wikipedia. Always try to interact, and make class interesting. Okay, thank you, Boxton. Thank you so much. Okay. Now I'm speaking out a few idioms here. Let me see if you know their answers. The one is catch like wildfire. I'm
Why
putting
quick?
it in the chat box. I'm putting them in the chat box, and then you can write in your notebooks their answers. If I ask you, then only you speak. Mustafa, which phone numbers are you writing here? Felicia, we're not talking about Wikipedia now. We're talking about these idioms.
Ma, I just give the meaning of idiom in the chatbot, but there is someone who asked my contact. That's why I wrote it there.
Okay.
Sorry.
So please answer. Are you familiar with these idioms? My question is. Rashida has rightly this thing given the answer back to square one, going back to where one started from. Very good. Caught red handed means apprehend someone when they are doing something wrong. Okay, doing something wrong. I think Nika has the book in front. You don't have to write the definition of what is idiom, which I'm assuming but it's good that, I mean, you're even writing the definition of idiom, but that was not my concern. My thing was concern, and is what I wanted you to do was to write the answers of the idiom, not what is idiom. I think more or less you've given the answers, for these. Catch like wildfire is to circulate or disseminate very quickly. Caught red handed, to apprehend someone when they're doing something wrong. Back to square one, back to the one started with no progress shown. At the 11th hour is latest possible time. Okay. Anything at the 11th hour, back to square one, caught red handed, cash like having green fingers. What is the meaning of having green fingers? Can anyone tell us? Yes, please. Having green fingers is good at gardening. You love gardening? Good at gardening. Okay. Okay. People are talking about dancing skills here. Okay, you must be having your favorite news channel. Now, the next task is that if you have a favorite news channel, why is it your favorite? You have to write couple of lines on it. Since it would be difficult in the chat box to write, but still we have no way out. You know, so when you, for example, if I ask you that which is your favorite news channel, so when you write that favorite news channel, you please be careful that you do not make some vague comments like, oh, this news channel I like because it is very interesting or it is very nice. Now, this is not good English articulation. Simply giving some vague comments, if you really want to be proficient and know the other side, let the other side know that you have to be little more detailed and nuanced, as in what do you exactly mean by interesting and nice. Okay, so develop this idea of interesting, nice, good little more further. Hmm? Your English should not be wrapped up in just three words. It's interesting, it's nice, or thank you, or goodbye. It should move further than that. Huh? So do not make vague comments like these. You may you need to give a very convincing reason, which will encourage your audience to view it. Okay, your favorite channel. Huh? And if you do not watch any um, then what do? You read a newspaper article, or so that could be another way to answer it. For example, you have the history channel. Okay, and you say the history channel is my favorite channel, so you write history channel is interesting, that is okay, but then what after that? This is what will raise the level of your fluent of your language from fluency to proficiency. That if you're simply saying that I like the history channel because it's interesting, that means this fellow is still in the fluency stage. He's not comfortable in the nuances of feelings. So okay, okay, Musa. So the for example, the history channel, you say the history channel is interesting because it has a variety of programs ranging from biography to solving crime, lifestyles to major events. Okay, that could be one way of saying that is interesting. And then I like the Discovery Channel, for example, because of the different kinds of programs covering facts on nature, places, and people. Hmm? That's the Discovery Channel. Then channels like the National Geographic Channel has been beautifully photography of the natural world. I enjoy fashion TV as it tells me about the 15 styles of dress and accessory around the world. So that's how your reasons should be supported by an argument. Hmm? Then Channel V brings us the latest pop hits from around the world. The star of the month features one artist and his or her songs are played regularly throughout the month. BBC is a good news channel and I like their current affairs. Okay, so that's how the reason has to be developed, has to be articulated. When you do that, then automatically your fluency levels are going to improve further, and you will find yourself being proficient in the English language. Many responses on the news channel are continuously coming. Rashidat is continuously participating. Then Hassan, Mr. Hassan also. Okay, Omar Amino as well. Baitavo Dennis as well. Very regular. Very good. Very good. Yes, I'm seeing a lot of responses here. Okay, great. Mustafa has written quite a bit. Very good. All right. All right. See, when you write automatically, some nice words they will come into your mind and you will start articulating. You will see that your articulation is continuously improving, but you have to write, write, and write. Okay, further, um, I would read out a passage which is titled as The Floating Markets of Thailand. Okay, I'll read out this comprehension. You listen carefully, and then I might ask you question on this or true and false. Okay, so just be attentive and just see. And not everybody will be. I will choose which learner, who's the one who's going to give me the answer. So that means all of you should listen attentively. If my voice is not audible, then you tell me. I don't want to hear this excuse once I finish doing the thing. Yes, please keep your pen and paper ready.
Ma, please read slowly so that
Sure.
we can write. Okay.
Hmm. I will read slowly only. In every country, markets of different kinds exist. In India, for instance, one can see the posh shopping areas and multi storied malls on the one hand and the small weekly bazaars on the other. This bazaar is a kind of mobile market that shifts from area to area on different days of the week. The shopkeepers need nothing but some clean pavement or some open space to settle on as they carry on their transactions. Then there is the common and easy to locate shopping center in every residential block. Through small, it has all the things that are necessary for survival. It has a greengrocer, a shop selling daily provisions and items of food, a stationer, a hair cutting salon, a dry cleaner, and a gift shop. We also have the huge wholesale markets devoted to particular kinds of goods, be it automobile, spare parts, or hosiery. Just as the cities of different countries boast of markets for people to shop in, the rivers of Thailand offer colorful markets which sell various kinds of farm produce and handicrafts. Early morning come, one can see a scene of hectic activity of bargaining, buying, and selling here. These floating markets are called talat now in Thai. These are made up of large clusters of boats which serve the purpose of both sales counters and transport vehicles for the farmers who gather here to sell their wares every morning. As dawn breaks over the horizon, small wooden boats paddled by wooden snake their way towards the market. One can see these women almost always in the blue dress that is common amongst the farmers of Thailand. On their heads, the women wear flat topped conical hats that one can find in all the parts of this country. The boats are laden with the produce from the nearby orchards and community farms. There are a wide variety of tropical forest, fruits, flowers, and vegetables, and they differ a very colorful sight. The boat vendors trade the agricultural produce largely by the traditional barter system. For the tourist, there are baskets and cause products, cloth, and other handmade items which they can buy for money. Tourists throng to the markets coming from the cities by bus. The most popular floating market is in mm, it's in Ratchaburi province, about 101 kilometers from Bangkok, the capital of Thailand. Bangkok too has a few floating markets of its own. The Taling Cham market is right in front of the district coffee of Taling Cham. The floating markets always open in the morning, some as early as 4 a.m. There is hectic trading amongst the vendors and buying and selling with the tourists till late in the evening. By about noon time, all the vendors would have left only to return again early in the early morning. Many of these markets open daily while some operate only on weekends. The Des Moines Sadok market is open daily, while the Tallington market is a weekend market. In fact, Thailand's floating markets are so popular amongst the tourists that hardly anyone ever goes away without buying something or taking a picture of the colonial markets. Some of the popular markets are Demnion Sadok floating market, Tallingchen floating market, Thakha floating market, and Bangkok Wayang floating market. These markets give one a glimpse of traditional way of life in Thailand. Looking at them, one can imagine how daily life must have been in earlier times. Efforts are being made to revive the old markets and reorganize them to attract more tourists. So, if you want a real taste of Thailand and wish to fully appreciate a floating market, you should get up really early and have a long tailed boat for the day. The boat ride along with river will also enable you to see Thai homes and gardens. This is given in your Block 3 Media and Entertainment, Unit 2, The Floating Markets of Thailand. So I was reading that comprehension. Hope the comprehension is clear to you.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll go very light. Okay, I'll just ask you true and false. I know you've understood it, and the real test would be to ask you to kind of summarize this in your notebooks. But then, since you know it's not a physical mode of teaching, I would have loved to do that. So we'll just pick up a few true and false so that it keeps the class light also and interesting also. Please do not switch to the answers. I know some of you have the book with you because the charm then goes off. What is the point of then just coming for classes, as in when you just want to see what is written? I told you in the beginning that though we've given answers, you should first attempt yourself before seeing the answers. Okay. Okay, let me ask now true and false. The vendors of a mobile market really do not need any shops to sell their goods. There are vendors, you have a mobile market, and you have a shop. Shop is stationary at one place, mobile markets, they keep on moving. Okay, so the vendors of mobile market really do not need any shops to sell their clothes. True or to sell their goods. True or false? Why
True.
false? It is true, na? Rashida, I can see you have opened the books because your response was right from the book, bit by bit. If you really want to
No,
be test
I
yourself,
haven't gotten.
then do
I
not
haven't
copy
gotten
what
to the
is
book
written
yet.
in the book. Your responses.
No,
All
it's
right.
obvious.
So the
No,
vendors of a mobile market really do not need any shops to sell their goods. Is it true or false? It's true.
it's
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Hmm. Okay, the next one. The Talatnams open by mid-morning and close by evening. They open by mid-morning. If you had listened attentively, you would have known this answer.
false.
False. Very good. So when do they open?
They open at 4 a.m.
Hmm. If one wishes to buy fresh flowers, one must go to the floating markets. Very easy. If you want to buy fresh flowers, then you have to go to the floating market. It's true or false? It's true, na? If you want to buy fresh flowers, then go to the floating market. It's true. These floating markets are often quite noisy places.
It's
Market,
true.
it's true. Market are supposed to be noisy places. I mean, not supposed to be. Markets are noisy places. Tourists can buy handicraft of cane and the local dress material from these floating markets. Do these floating markets have handicraft and the local dress material? Did I say something like this?
It's false.
Okay, who else? Tourists can buy handicrafts and local dress material from these floating markets. That is very much true. Markets are for all these things, no? For handicraft, for flowers, for dress material. Hmm? Going to these colorful markets gives you no idea about the traditional marketing system of Thailand. Very important. Somebody who hasn't answered as yet. Should I name
False.
or you would come forward on your own? Caliper,
It's a false.
going to these colorful markets gives you no idea about the traditional marketing system of Thailand.
It's a false.
Hmm? It is false. Yes, it is false. Going to these markets gives you an idea about the traditional marketing system. Okay, next. If one wishes to see the Talat Naam in full swing, one needs to get up early and go there. Yeah, that's there. One has to get up early and go if you want to enjoy. Otherwise, it gets the place gets very crowded. If there are so many floating markets, then why there must be many canals or rivers in Thailand? Very true, right?
Hi, ma'am. You disappear.
Hello. Yeah, yeah. I'm here. All right. So right now we would I would ask you meanings of few words, okay, which we use in news reporting or when news anchors uh, they share their news or they read out news, okay. Just excuse me for 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay. Hi guys.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be giving you, now let us practice some vocab. Now the word is exhilarating. Anyone who can tell us the meaning?
Which meaning, ma?
Okay, I'll write here.
Okay.
Yes. The meaning of the word.
Making one feel happy.
Okay. Yes. Giving you a strong feeling of happiness and excitement. Okay, the meaning of wares. There can be multiple meanings, so no issues. Whichever strikes you, we can discuss that. Wares. It's a easy day-to-day term. You must be using it in day-to-day life. Please write responses for wares also. WARES.
Can you come again, please?
Yeah. Wares, WARES, yes. It means goods. Very good. It means goods. And also talents. I'll write the meaning here. Okay. The next is weeding out. What is weeding out?
It means to get rid of or to remove.
To remove what? To get rid of useless people or any useless thing. If not just people, but could be things also. To get rid of useless people. So that is the meaning of it. Here, according to the passage, it is the okay. The next is fizzle out. Okay. Nanzini, okay. Stephen, okay. Davis, all right. To remove from a group? What do you want to remove from a group, Davis? I did not understand your response.
I think it should be gradually become less successful and end a disappointing way.
Okay. But then something that starts off strongly, that also you need to mention. Something that starts off strongly and ends weakly. But it has to start strongly and end weakly. That's fizzling out.
Shortly, to lose power.
All right, we move on to the next thing, which is an interview. For example, you have to conduct an effective interview. Okay, so what do? So you keep the following things in mind while you conduct an interview. That is, you should be sure to pick up the right person, okay, when you want to interview, and do your research very well about the topic and the person interviewed. Adequately prepare your questions. Make notes of the answers given by the interviewer. Take permission from the interviewee if he or she would allow you to record. Okay. Now, in the class, I would request two learners to come forward and let us see how an interview can be conducted here in an online class, just for the role play thing, we do that. Mm, mm, who would come forward? We need two volunteers for the role play. Interviewer and interviewee. Two. Let me just pick up.
Okay.
Caliper and Emily. Caliper. Now, Caliper has been responding very well in the chat box, in the writing exercise. So we want you to participate. Just put yourself on video. Or Davis. Davis is here.
I don't have a front camera, so I can put it on a video.
All right. All right. But okay, so we can, Davis, are you okay with one of the persons in the role play? Davis and Caliper.
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay, so let us imagine something. Let us imagine, okay, Davis, who's your favorite sports star? Sports person. Who's your favorite sports person?
I would go for Messi.
Messi? Okay. Most of us have him as the favorite. Okay. So imagine that you are interviewing Messi, and Calipa is Messi. Okay. So you are interviewing him, and let us see how you frame your questions and how Calipa, who's your favorite sports person? Who's your favorite?
Let now Rashford.
Hmm?
Rashford.
Which game is this?
Manchester United key player now. Rashford. Marcus Rashford.
Okay, anyway, the audio is not clear. I'm not familiar with the name. I'm sorry. Maybe the audio is not clear. That's the reason I'm not being able to hear. So, Davis, are you familiar with Calipa's favorite sports person?
Yeah, I just know the person, I just hear the name, but I can't explain much about it because I'm not a fan of the team.
Okay. But Calipa, you've heard of Messi, right? You are familiar with Messi.
Yeah, I've heard of Messi.
Okay, so let us pick up Messi, then. Okay, so since Messi is Davis' favorite, so he would know a lot about Messi. So let us assume that Caliper, you have to interview Davis in the role of Messi. Davis, you become your favorite sports person because you'll be able to give answers very nicely, to the questions put up by Caliper, since you must be knowing Messi through, your coverage very well. Caliper, now you have to be very sensitive in framing questions. Okay, you
Okay.
are the interviewer. You have to interview Davis in the role play of Messi, right?
Okay.
So do that. At least go on for like 6 to 7 questions. Let us see how it builds up.
All right.
So
Oh, okay. Can I begin?
can you begin straight away? Hmm? You need time for preparation or something like this?
Okay.
You take 2 minutes in framing questions because I think you would require time. You can't just start off like this, no?
Okay.
Ma,
Take 2 minutes, frame questions. Meanwhile, I'm reading out something for the rest. Okay, here I'm reading out something like writing descriptions. So, descriptive writing is a type of writing which is meant to describe a person, place, thing, or event in vivid details. It does not depend on facts, but on the author's ability to make the reader see, feel, and experience what she or he sees, feels, and experiences. The focus is on showing and not telling, so that the reader gets a sense of how the subject looks, sounds, smells, tastes, or feels like. Okay, so this should be a descriptive writing. Okay, and so I've gone through this. I would ask you to write 2 lines on your favorite photograph out of your family album and describe that photograph. Okay, but after this exercise, after we have this interview, then we'll write something about the photograph, your favorite photograph of your family album, and then we'll close the class for today. Okay, can we begin? And please, when Caliper and Davis are doing the role play, the rest of you can come in and suggest wherein the changes can be brought, how Caliper should have framed the question in a better way, and how Davis could have answered, in a more formal, in a more nuanced way. So it is all like we are here to learn from each other. Okay, so like that. And also, we not just what they're talking verbally. Whenever we are trying to assess, it should not be just on the oral thing what is going on, or on the written thing, but as I said, also very importantly, which we miss out on usually, is the non-verbal aspect. What was the confidence level of Davis and Caliper while they were doing the role play, and the kind of pronunciations, the kind of vocabulary they were trying to use, and all these things they need to be looked at. All right. So without much ado, then we can begin. Pilirani, Mr. Pilirani Caliper and Mr. Davis Firi here in the role play of an interviewer and interview. Okay, you can go ahead now.
Okay. Messi, how did you become a prayer?
Thank you so much. I
Oh,
became a
but
prayer.
this is not the way you begin. You've started straight away addressing. I mean, it's
Oh,
pleasure to have you. Something like
oh,
this
oh,
should be
oh,
there,
oh,
no?
okay. Okay.
Good evening, good afternoon. Some pleasantries. We've
Oh,
already
oh, oh.
done. We've already done
Okay.
block one, which is
Oh, okay.
greetings. You need to greet someone and
Okay.
introduce yourself, and then go
Okay.
on. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the show. I'm Pirani Kalipa. May I know you?
Thank you so much. My name is Lionel Mess.
Okay, welcome, Messi. How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm
People,
sorry to again interrupt. Mr. Pilirani, you need to be slightly formal. It's a formal interview, and your tone settings are very informal. I have already introduced you to formal introductions and informal introductions. Okay. So, formal introductions need to be slightly formal. Okay. Hmm. Go ahead,
okay.
please. Please don't mind my these interventions in between. No? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction.
Please. Go ahead.
Okay. So, uh, okay. This is the BBC Sports. Welcome, viewers. I'm Pirani Kalipa. We have a guest here. You may want to know him. Uh, can you introduce yourself, Mr. Please?
Thank you so much for welcoming me to the show. I'm Lionel Messi. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Messi. It's a pleasure to have you here. Uh, people want to know more of you. Can you tell what makes you like to become a better player in the game of football?
Thank you so much. To begin with, I think it's passion. I started playing football when I was very young. So I grew up like that. I liked football very much. The school that I went to, we had an academy of school, I mean, an academy of football. So I started playing when I was very young. So I grew up with that, and I became a football star.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. Okay, so as a star, how do you cope or how do you handle social media?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. Sometimes you ought to go with the being positive to the comments, to the reactions of the fans. So I'm always positive whenever people comment about me on social media. So I do not react. I just focus on my career as a football player.
Ah, that's great. Uh, So, how can you tell the young ones? What's your advice to the young ones for them to become a star like you?
Thank you. Maybe my advice to the youngsters is they have to believe in themselves. They have to have a dream. If they want to become a player like me, then they have to concentrate on what they are doing. If they want to become a very good player, then they have to practice each and every time so that they become very good in what they are supposed to do.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, how do you take each game when you have a game ahead of you? How do you prepare yourself? People may just want to know.
Thank you so much. As a player, whenever I have a game in hand, I always have to practice. You know, we always go for camping before games, so I always take each and every game as the first game, as the only game that I have in my life. So I concentrate, I practice, I train hard, so I take it very positive. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So, we talk about football because you're a footballer. So, uh, which is your favorite game you have played, and why? Why is that particular game so favorite to you?
I remember of a single game when, as a nation, I was participating in a World Cup in the 2021 season. So I remember of a game when we are trying to play with Brazil. So it was a crucial game. I remember it wasn't very simple, but then we made it, and I still have memories of that game.
Yeah. I remember you. I remember me watching you on that game. You played very brilliantly. Oh, thank you. So, how do you see football as a whole? How should we take football?
You know, football, besides being a football game, or something that people like watching, football is also take it as business, take it as a work, a career that one can do for a living. So I take it that way, not just football, not just a game.
Yeah, thank you, Messi. Um, Here we have come to an end to our interview with Messi. So, Messi, maybe your last or two words before we go.
Thanks so much for being around, and thank you so much for being very good supporters. I like the way you support us. I like the way you react. I like the way you come to cheer the games. I like it, and it lifts me up. It always encourages me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you once again, viewers, for watching, and thank you, Messi, for coming. It was a pleasure having you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, it was so wonderful. Davis was almost like, the real Messi coming, and there was so much of, there was, uh, there was so much of, I should say, strength in whatever he was saying. So much of conviction, as if we had the real player with us. So much of stability in how he was answering all the questions and with the confidence that he was displaying. And as far as Mr. Pilirini Kalipa, he was also wonderful with his questions. Um, just that we need to be careful, when we ask questions on live media, because it appeared in the beginning that in you're interviewing Davis, for the live television, since the tone was slightly informal and friendly, like we have in the matches after matches. But there's a difference, as in when you write, when you are interviewing someone for a written medium, for maybe magazine or for newspaper article, so therein where one needs to be slightly more formal, because transcriptions are there, and so it needs to give that formal look, while it's being printed. Okay, but it was wonderful, the kind of questions. And but as I said, that in the writtens, in while you are doing it for magazine, then things like some fillers up which you were using, like okay, and all that can be avoided. And if it is a live television interview, of course, I mean, these all things are accepted, but for a magazine we can avoid all the, because it's not a standard English. And while we transcript the this thing. Okay, I need responses, 2 or 3 responses from the learners about the interview. Which questions could have been asked, or what kind of questions were being asked, and the responses.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
the
Emma,
interview.
yes. Welcome.
Actually, the interview was really, really nice. But the one thing I have observed during the interview, I think the last question which Prilan was asked at the first was like, what can you tell the young ones who wants to be like you, Messi? Should be the first, should be the last one, since he was like ending the conversation to tell the whole world what advice can Messi give to the young ones. That's the only thing I have observed. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Observations need to be made. Okay. They can be right, they can be wrong, that depends, but observation should be made. Yeah. Somebody else? It's important to express your observations, irrespective whether they're valid or not. And yes, Jimmy, Mr. Jimmy?
Yes, I want to agree with what Pirana said, especially the question which was asked about how Messi could motivate the young ones. It was about it was supposed to be, yeah, at least maybe in the beginning. At the same time, the kind of interview which we have with players like in that setting is quite different with the kind of interviews where maybe you are, uh, of course, you advised him to be very formal, but it is an interview being conducted in an entertainment setting. So the mood also when making such an interview, I think it is supposed to be entertaining, and that kind of friendliness. It's quite different where you are maybe interviewing a politician. That's just a general observation.
Yeah. 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 Very well. Very well. Okay. Yes. The rest of you. Stephen, yes. Stephen, please go ahead.
Yeah, I felt that at the first they were supposed to greet each other and probably talk to each other in a friendly manner so that before they start the conversation. Otherwise, generally it was quite okay. The conclusion was not all that convincing, despite that the question was asked at the very end. That's the right question, because that is question usually comes at the very end of a conversation to sum up everything that they have said, and probably to provide advice to the young ones, and that what steps are they supposed to follow to become stars as well. So I
Okay.
think that is the only
I could
observation that
not
I've
hear
seen.
much.
Thank
The
you so
audio
much.
is okay. Thank you. Kaima?
Yes, madam. If you can remember yesterday, we were talking about nervous. Nervous. These guys are quite good, and they were so pretty during the interview. But because of nervous, it affects them. Instead of following the procedures of an interview, because of tense, they have failed. Then they start jumping the levels that they're supposed to, to handle. Because whatever Stephanos asking or blaming about, it was just because of these guys. They jumped some steps, but I know what the they were doing. But because of tense or nervous as such as I am talking about as our topic for yesterday, that is why these people have jumped the steps. But the interview otherwise it was pretty cool, pretty quiet. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Anybody else wants to come out with any response? Okay, go ahead.
Hello, madam. Yeah, I just want to appreciate Davis. Davis act he is confident. He acted like Messi. He didn't even doubt himself. Yeah, that part he played well.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah.
Good. At least you said something, no? Good. Do we have some more responses or should we close this one? Okay. My next thing would be anyway, there's hardly any time for the class, left. But my idea was also to take out one picture which is very dear to you. All of you. Take out one picture which is very dear to you. Though we don't have time to do that exercise, but then should we'll do it then on Monday then. Huh? Because there are last 3 minutes left. I want you to take out that picture and describe in 3-4 sentences for us. Some people can speak here, the others can write in the chat box. There is no time, we need at least half an hour for that exercise. So what shall we do? Close the class then for today? What do you suggest?
Uh, Before you close, um, wherever I have just come from, I say that you, madam, had it been that I was with you, I could pass my exams with distinction. It's just a matter of appreciation. The way you handle this conversation, I'm telling you, you are really a very good teacher. Nobody else can blame you that we don't understand. Hey, we don't do what. You don't use big languages or whatever. No, but you are using simple English so that everybody can understand. You can go together with you. So only mine is just to appreciate that, madam, the way you are. If you can continue like this, I'm telling you, we will pass with distinction.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you so
but
much.
I tell you, you are wonderful students too. I'm going to miss you after the classes they get over. Hmm. So we should make sure that all of us we do keep in contact, through some medium or the other. You're wonderful students, and I must appreciate and I must tell you that you have efficient levels of proficiencies in you. So the only thing is, practicing more and more with your friends, with your colleagues, that gives you adequate space also and confidence enough that you can give your best, irrespective of any situation and context. So you have everything within you. You are wonderful, believe me, all of you. I mean, literally everyone comes forward with responses. That is what, in the initiating stages, though, the responses were not that many, but as we've progressed, I've seen my learners are coming up with wonderful responses and they want to speak. See, for proficiencies and for fluencies, it is important to speak first, no? That is
We,
important.
we are
Once
so
that
we are
begins,
so grateful, madam. Thank you so much.
thank you. So once you start speaking, then rest is a game. At least you should start speaking, and along with this impulse that I have to speak, Like Zimba had few, just I guess, a sentence to speak, but she was keen that she should express, even if it's just a sentence, even if it might feel that the rest have spoken, and what would this sentence make any difference? She looked beyond it, and she gave respect to that even one sentence that was in her mind. So giving respect to what you hold is your opinion, expressing it without any prejudice, and that is what is required, for being fluent and for being proficient. Express what you have with confidence, and proficiency is just a matter of time. It's no big deal. Read more and more. Read more and more, and try to use good words on your own. If I kind of uh, throw some heavy words, verbose, I get verbose with my lectures, trying to show that I have an English, which is like world class and all that. I know all those words. I don't need to do that here. You have dictionaries. I giving you 50 new words doesn't make any difference. You should try to use those words, take out from your own interest those words, and try to use them on your own. Out here, my role is not tutoring you or lecturing or showing my knowledge. All of us, we have enough knowledge. That is okay for us. It is just that you need people to help you, support you, give you confidence, and just within, mentor you in a sense that they are within you and seeing you from inside and trying to tell you that you're wonderful, you're great. Go ahead. Your lines are absolutely clear, your goals are absolutely clear. The only thing is that believing in yourself at every step, wherever you take a decision, that those decisions are right decisions. Believe in them. Try to speak about them and be confident. Proficiency is just a matter of time. You're going to be proficient very soon. Okay, on that lovely note, goodbye, take care, and have a nice weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Okay?
Bye. Confidence
Bye.
matters most, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.